This is Snowface Bigfoot, and welcome to my old school gamer magazine, issue 19, Unwrapping, and sort of review video. And as you can tell, the weather's nice. We had like 3 or 4 days in a row with gale force winds out here and strong winds. So it's just nice to be out here. It's about 82 degrees, hardly, a breeze. This is very comfortable, not very humid. But we're not here for that, are we? Not for the small talk. We're here for this. So first thing what we're going to do is we're going to see our poster. And for this, we got a Game Boy, the original. With Samus, Kirby, Pikachu, Mario, and it's a me, Wario. And there you see Tetris in the background. I actually was one of the first people to purchase a Game Boy. So as you can tell, this game is about handheld consoles. Okay, so the first thing is, I love the cover though. It just fits the Game Boy just so perfectly. And what we're going to do here, instead of just holding it up, is we're going to do this instead. So as you can see here, table of contents, early arcade ports of Game Boy. They talk about the Game Gear, Game Boy Color, which I loved, NES Maker. Now about the Intellivision Amico, that is going to come out in October instead. It was supposed to come out last month, but it didn't. And the Atari 2600 Encyclopedia, so pretty good. All right. So we start first with the iArcade report. So we got Mania Challenge, Dragon's Lair, R-Type, Bomb Squad, all that good stuff. They said it's 11 games on there. So I don't know about Bomb Squad. I've never played that game. But as you can tell, it's kind of like the 1-Up arcades, except it's a little more elaborate. So you got a 6-button layout, all that kind of good stuff. I don't know what 3 buttons for, so. Anyway, this starts out talking about Tiger Handhelds. These were the craze in the 80s and early 90s, along with the Nintendo Game & Watch ones. Some of these games were really good. A lot of them were just pure trash, so not good. All right, here we talk about Sonic 3. And again, I never played a lot of them because a lot of them were just trash. Some of them were really good though. So, all right, here we go. Now this talks about the arcade ports of the Game Boy, and we're gonna try to go with the light here. If it doesn't, there we go. And as you can tell, now remember it's in green and white sprites. Okay, so the first one's Asteroids Missile Command, Centipede Millipede, which is one of my favorite trackball games. If I remember, this one actually turned out to be pretty good. I actually purchased both of those. So, other things that they have in here, Galaga Galaxian. Galaga was the follow-up. It's probably one of the greatest follow-ups to an arcade game ever. Defender Joust, Dig Dug, Donkey Kong. Now this is not the original. It does have the original 4 levels, but it expands on the formula with keys and other stuff, and it's a really good game. I actually played it on not main, but was it not Nescapade, but Nesticle. That's what I played it on. So I'm not going to tell you what the icon is for it. So I don't want my video to be, get a strike. Lock and Chase, good Pac-Man clone. Mr. Do. Plays like Dig Dug, but it's pretty fun. Miss Pac-Man, this was not a very good port. You could go out to the main screen and see the big screen, make it miniaturized, but it wasn't that good. Pac-Man was the same way. Paperboy, Q*bert, very hard to play, but it turned out to be decent. And there's some very, very, very fun classics. Kicks, where you have to make sure you don't hit this, And this little piece right here, use like a little mouse or something, trackball, draw your lines or whatever. As long as you don't get hit, you got to enclose the screen. So you might go like that, and you had to get like 80% of the screen or something. So, Space Invaders. All right. Then they talk about Game Gear. Um, I haven't read this magazine yet. In fact, I just opened it, so I'm not sure what they really talk about. I noticed that they talk about Shinobi, Space Harrier, and Mickey Mouse, and that kind of stuff. But as you can tell here, cartridges. Now, the biggest problem with the Game Gear was the battery life. The battery life sucked, and I mean literally. Like the it sucked the energy out of the batteries and the juice out of them like really quick. Like it lasted a few hours. Like with the Nintendo Game Boy, you could actually buy a charger for that. So, all right, the unpopular ones. Is that a Wonder Swan? Yeah, I think that's a Wonder Swan. Yeah. My favorite one was the SNK Neo Geo Color. That had one of the best. It was actually probably the best handheld ever as far as having a thumbstick on there. So, and it had one of the best SNK. What was it? SNK or Street Fighter or Capcom versus SNK Match of the Millennium. And had some really fun side games in there. One with Arthur from Ghost and Goblins. So, the Game Boy Color, I really enjoyed this. I bought this day one as well. It wasn't day one, but it was like day 2 or 3. So, this was a 16-bit system. You could play the old Game Boy games on there. And as you can tell, you have Lufia, Metal Gear. Yes, they had Metal Gear on the Game Boy. It was 10 stages long. Deja Vu. I can't remember if that was a graphic novel or point and click adventure. I might be wrong, but it was a port of the games though. Theme versus design. So I'm not sure what this is about, but I guess what game themes are. So, it talks about backstories and stuff. So, GTA 3, remember, was the first open world GTA 3 that was in 3D. So it used to be top down 1 and 2. Yeah, so they talk about it here. It was Yars' Revenge, which is one of the best games. That's race spelled backwards. And I do have one or two long plays of this on my YouTube channel. One I actually recorded when I was in my motel room out in Great Falls when go to our Spring Fling Hoop Thing tournament every year. So this talks about backstory and everything. All right, hidden gems for the N64. Beetle Adventure Racing. I won't tell you who invented the Beetle or Volkswagens, but if you look it up, it's kind of a shocker. You probably wouldn't drive one if you knew. Body Harvest. I know nothing about this game. Gauntlet Legends. This is one of the last arcade games I ever played. They had this at Putt Putt, and that was the last summer. I was so poor that summer. Ended up getting a teaching gig in August that year. Mischief Makers, Ready to Rumble Boxing. This was a hit on the Dreamcast. Afro Thunder. That guy was funny. He actually wasn't the best fighter in the game, but he's very prolific. All right, Robotron 64. Excellent take on the original. Space Invaders, Wetrix, which is a 3D version. You have to make sure your playfield, I think, doesn't flood or something. And then Chef's Love Shack. I know nothing about that game because I never played it. It's a trivia game. Okay, so I guess it's something like You Don't Know Jack. All right. Diary of an Arcade Employee. So here's an interview. So that seems pretty cool. I did a little work in an arcade, but these were my hangouts back in the 80s and 90s. I mean, this is exactly what they look like, some of them. Sometimes they were dark. This is what Chuck E. Cheese looked like. You would have like 4 or 5 Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man machines, 3 or 4 Donkey Kongs, and it was awesome. And they'd have like 70, 80 games, and it was crazy. The Intellivision Amico. Can't wait till this comes out. I don't think it's going to be a lot of games on it, but it looks pretty good. I think it's Night Stalker's the one I was thinking. That's the one I really want. And I think they're going to have... Yeah, there it is. Astro Smash. I was just thinking about that game. So that was one of my favorite games. I believe it was Astro Blast on the Atari. But this is a new Intellivision, which was way superior to the Atari, but it didn't have a lot of games on it. So, Homebrew Heaven. So, good advertisement about homebrew games. And you'd be surprised what people do the Atari 2600 of all things. Beercade Project. Oh, there we go. One of the best beer thing ever. Tapper. There's also a root beer tapper for this, so that's pretty cool. All right. The Virtual Boy, not a very good system. Yeah, as you could tell, red and white. I played this at the old Toys R Us in Midlothian before they moved it out closer to Chesterfield Town Center. But yeah, it actually used to be right at Turner and Midlothian, right across from the State Police headquarters. So, all right. Yeah, it wasn't very good. So, reviewing the Atari 2600 Encyclopedia. First time seeing this, so I'm gonna look this up and see if I can buy it. It says it sells $4.99 for Kindle. I want it paperback. I don't like reading books. I have an Atari 800 book I'm going to review here pretty soon. So that's pretty cool. An interview with Ed Logg. The Rockstar, Asteroids, 1979. Look at this. Atari was a corporation that was born in 1972. The year I was born. Ooh. That's why that year was so awesome. Because I was born the same year Atari was founded. Brought Pong. After that, Breakout, Sprint, Night Driver. Not Michael Knight. This was before Michael Knight. Fire Truck, which actually in the arcade was a 2-player game. But I was like 11 or 12 when I first played it because they had it at Chuck E. Cheese. Space Invaders, And so the interviews are usually about 4 pages long. This is what the descriptions of the game are like, their plans or whatever. So it's not like now where you type everything up. So this is pretty neat information right here. They ask about what innovative things. So Space Invaders, one of the craziest things is that they found out you couldn't move everything so fast at once, but if you took one alien at a time, you could speed them up as less were there. That's something I didn't know until about 10 years ago. And then here, there are some transformations here. So you get this a little bit in pre-calculus. You see a lot of this in college level math, so that's pretty good. Or actually mappings. So they're actually mappings. So that's pretty cool. All right. The official 40 Deuce SB2 glossary. I don't think I know about 40. It's a 40 ounce. But this is 42nd Street. 40 Deuce. All right. So. All right. Was that a company or I'm not sure. See, there's a lot of things I don't know about the old school. Huh. There we go. Where was the official mayor of when I guess it talks about games and stuff. I don't know. Okay. All right. Strategic simulations from board to console. I'm not too familiar with this. So, the gunfight at the OK Corral. That's crazy. 6-gun shootout. Never heard of it. Oh, yes, I did. And then there's the coding. This is how you would type code in the old days. Let's scroll this in right here. This is how they would do code in the old days. And then your paper would be like this, the print paper. Yeah, I used print paper like that when I was in college. So, and in not college, but in middle school. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go back out here. All right. Map of Gettysburg and the surrounding area. So I assume that's for the Gettysburg game. So, all right. Joel Billings interview. Okay. All right. And finally, I don't know too much about him, so. All right. Finally. I remember this game, Epidemic. 8-bit. There's a game like this that's on iOS. You download it and you try to kill the whole world with a disease. So yeah. All right. Panzer General. It had a map editor. It's kind of crazy. All right. And then finally, the advertisement for the arcade and amusement auction, Altoona, Iowa. Too far away from me. If I was back in North Dakota, of course I'd go. But anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. So I was a little bit out of it. I'm sorry. But, it's a beautiful day out here. And I just decided to do this video now. I know it's kind of hard to see out here because it's getting dark. But, hey, it's a beautiful day. I got the background. And just so that y'all can see here, this is what the background looks like again. This is what a beautiful day looks like. Alright, so I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. Slap it, in fact. Slap that subscribe button. And hope everyone has a good day. I have a vlog video that's going to be coming out. It'll be out before this one or sometime in the future. But anyway, please take care. I'm out.